Hi, welcome to Glow's Canter Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Well, today I thought I would make some cookies that are a no-bake cookie that are just simply delicious. And it's a little bit different than most no-bake cookies that I've ran across, and I thought I'd share it with you. The recipe comes out of a cookbook, and it's called Favorite Recipes of Our Best Cooks. And this is actually a book that was compiled by a group of ladies that I used to work with at AT&T years ago. And I thought I'd share it today. And this recipe was shared by Joey Hahn. So anyway, the first thing to do is you combine all your dry ingredients in a bowl. So here are 3 cups of rolled oats. And I'm using the old-fashioned type. Then it calls for 1/2 cup of sweetened coconut. And I already pre-measured everything out. And it calls for 1/2 cup of chopped nuts, and I'm using pecans today. It calls for 3 tablespoons of cocoa. So then the next thing we have, oh, and also 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So let me put that in one. And I'm just eyeing it here. That's probably about 1/4 teaspoon. So the next thing is you're going to cook your sugar and your milk on the stove and your butter. So I have this burner preheating already, and it calls for 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick. And then we're going to let this melt here, and I'll be back. But before we leave, I wanted to tell you about these other ingredients here too. There's 2 cups of granulated sugar, and there's 2/3 cup of whole milk, and then 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla. So as soon as this butter melts, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Well, my butter is almost melted here, and I wanted to share with you, I'm going to stir the dry ingredients up here so that they're all combined, because with this recipe, everything moves very fast once we combine everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this with this Dutch or Danish whisk, and I love this utensil. It just makes everything come together really nice. You wouldn't think so when you looked at that, but it's great. So the main thing is here is you just want to kind of combine everything for when we pour this over. So that's done. And the next step you want to do is you want to combine your 2 cups of granulated sugar in with the melted butter. And also the 2/3 cup of whole milk. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cook this for 3 minutes boiling. So it'll take a little bit to bring up to a boil, so we'll be back after it's boiled for 3 minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, it's been boiling here for 3 minutes. You can see how it's just busy going there. I just turned my burner off. Now we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of real vanilla. And I'm switching hands because I'm primarily right-handed. I do try to do as much as possible with my left, but so there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this over this bowl of all the dry ingredients. So let me move this out of the way real quick. There. Let me get a spatula here. Try and get some of this extra out. Sorry I have this turned away from you, but it's the only way I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. I'll start combining this. And that's why it's important to have all this stuff ready before you start, so that this all gets mixed together good before it starts to harden up. Oh, it smells really good with that chocolate in there. I don't know if you can smell that, Richard, but it's
a little bit
really smelling good.
Now I can smell it. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I was closer to it than you. This is kind of like a take on those no-bake cookies with the peanut butter in them, but this has the nuts instead of the peanut butter. There we go. I think that's combined pretty good. So the next step is you take either wax paper or parchment paper, and I have parchment paper, and you just put that down. And then what I do is I take a little scoop like this. It goes quicker for me. So, and then I just start putting it down. And these have to set for 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and continue putting these on here, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like before they cool. Well, I got all the cookies out here with that scoop. And the scoop I used is fairly large, and you can use a smaller one and you could get more cookies. But with this, with the size of scoop I have 22 cookies. So I'll be back in about 20 minutes and we'll try one. Hi, well, it's been 20 minutes and they're nice and cool. So I'm going to go ahead and sample this. And it has the pecans in it, and the coconut, the rolled oats, and the cocoa, and of course the butter and sugar. These are so good. They're not overly sweet, and they're soft. The oats are nice and soft. You can taste that coconut and the pecans. I tell you, these are excellent. And they would be very good also if you made them with a dark chocolate, or combine them, the regular cocoa along with some dark chocolate. That would be really good as well. Oh.
So they're a winner, eh, Miss Glow?
Yeah, they're delicious. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please like and subscribe to our channel and share with your friends. And if you've tried these, give me a comment. Let me know how it turned out for you. Happy holidays. Bye.